Hello YouTube, it's me, Raina, and I want to talk about the show New Amsterdam. Most importantly, I want to talk about Freema Agyeman. So if you did not know, Freema, who played Martha Jones in Doctor Who, got her first leading role on the network television show called New Amsterdam. It ran for 5 seasons. It just recently ended, and unfortunately, she was not in the last season at all. And it became a big uproar from fans. They learned about that. They were not given any clear explanation. The fans were told by the showrunners that they were working on getting Freema back for the last season, or at least for the series finale, and that they had some sort of surprise or something for the fans of the ship that she was a part of in the show. She was paired with the white male lead. Are you getting the similarities here to a certain other show that did this? Yes, Sleepy Hollow. That's what I'm saying. Nicole Bahari treated the exact same way. Whereas Nicole, I believe, was fired from the show. I think Freema did quit the show and did leave the show. Now, when it comes to the nitty-gritty of contracts, I have no idea how all that works, but I feel that she did leave and she did not want to be in that environment anymore. Because usually when an lead actor leaves a show, it's like, okay, they did their either 5 or 6 years, their contract is up, they are free to go. And that has happened on a lot of TV shows. And in those situations, it's generally not bad blood, it's just business. People want to go on to movies, people want to do other stuff, which is perfectly fine. Look at Ellen Pompeo. She's going to be recurring in Grey's Anatomy. She's been there for 1,000 episodes. So, of course, this is practically normal business. What's happening here is not. From, the series finale of the show just aired, and the showrunner's like, we tried to get Freema back, and if she just didn't, quit, basically, we would have made a better ending for her. And it's like, would you? Because what I'm hearing from the fans who watched the show, in the 4th season, apparently the character of Helen wasn't written well, or wasn't given enough screen time. And then when she did leave in this last season, it seemed like they were really trying to they were demonizing her character, basically leaving the male lead at the altar for no reason, using old footage, from previous seasons to put her in there to make it seem like she's actually there, and she was not. And people are angry about that because when it was announced that she was leaving, the showrunner's like, oh yeah, we're going to have some surprise for the Sharp Wind fans, so we're going to do this and do that. And there was a press release out saying, oh, Freema is back, but she wasn't. They used old deleted scene footage of her and put it in the show. So once again, lying to fans, misguiding them, and whatever. And the thing with me is like, oh well, Raina, actors do this all the time. And I'm like, no. Freema Agyeman is dedicated and she is loyal. Okay, she was in Doctor Who Season 3. She came back for Doctor Who Season 4 for the Sontaran 2-parter and the finale 2-parter and for the end of time. And she was also in Torchwood. So, clearly she loved working on those shows. And plus, her playing Martha Jones was a breakout role. So, of course, she would love to go back to that. Also, she was in the Law and Order TV show. And then, famously, on Sense8, she was on that. And the show got canceled. And her, along with the other cast members and fans, were advocating for that show to come back. And when it did, with only the special, she came back. And I think she was recently in that new Matrix movie, which was made by the Wachowski sisters, who also did Sense8. So she has a very loyal sense about her. She's shown to be loyal. And also in recent time, in these past couple years, she's done a lot of cons, a lot of conventions. She didn't do that before, but now she does. Especially now that her star is rising, considering her being on the show. So she's a pretty dedicated person, and she's very serious about her work. And if she likes an environment and she loves a character, she will come back. And why would you think a black actress who is the lead of a medical drama would not be in the last season? Mind you, the show only lasted for 5 seasons. This is very different from Grey's Anatomy and those other shows that last for like 1,000 years or whatever, okay? This was not a long period of time. Why do you think she did not come back for the last season? Something happened. We have no confirmation of anything happening, but if we learned anything from a Nicole Beharie, anything from a Candice Patton, and many other black actresses who have not spoken about their experiences in being in these spaces, we know that there's a lot of disrespect when it comes to being a black actor, but specifically a black female actor, when it comes to being in these high positions in these TV shows, especially a female lead. They butter you up, they promote you and do whatever, and then once basically they're done using you, they throw you away like you were nothing. You know, like I remember on, what was it, that show, Castle, the female lead of that show, there are 2 white female leads, and it was said that they were going to like basically kill off her character and keep the show going on with Nathan Fillion. The fans got angry and they got their happy ending, and she was able to do that because of her being the female lead, and she is a white woman and she had that status, whereas a lot of these black actresses do not have that power in the industry. Even someone as established as a Freema Agyeman, she did not have that, and she cannot say anything because of that. And I think she knows that. I think she spent a good amount of time in the industry to know that. Because, can't have anyone think you're the angry black woman, or whatever, how offensive that is. But yeah, I do believe something fishy went on, and the showrunners are bad-mouthing her, saying like, oh, if she did come back, then this wouldn't have happened and she should have stayed. I feel like they are irked that she left. And basically they wrote some really awful stuff about her character in the last season. And the male lead went to a white woman, of course, but he didn't end up with anybody. He ended up alone, whatever. But alas, it's just a whole messy situation that did not need to happen. Something happened on that show that made Freema uncomfortable and made her adamant to not come back for the last season. Like, the show is not even that long. It's only 13 episodes, 5 seasons. Something major and something really, really harmful happened. Remember what happened on Fresh Out the Boat with that actress? She was, trigger warning, sexually assaulted. Not saying that this happened to Freema, but something had to happen for her to be like, I cannot be in this environment. Maybe it's not that extreme, but you will never know. So I just wanted to give my opinion on this and not really speculate, but kind of give examples of certain things. And this is that's a thing going on. People talked the big talk back in 2020, putting them black, squares in their Instagram and saying Black Lives Matter. All of a sudden, everybody, is for it, even though they never were before. And now it's like, oh, well, who cares? And I knew it was performative, and, network TV did the same thing. I knew it was all fake. It was all fake. So leave your comments down below and tell me what you think, and bye YouTube.